Gentlemen, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a cracking start to the day. Literally an awesome night last night. So guess what I found on demand as me and Emma sat on the couch? America's Dumbest Criminals streaming online. Literally my favourite TV show of all time. In fact, if any of you have read anything that I've written in the past, I made the mistake in the first book I ever wrote, which was called The Business Owner's Guide. Oh, let me sit down. To Making Out Like a Bandit. Talked about actually how much I love that TV show, which was a big, massive mistake because regularly on the email, in the inbox, people send me links to videos and they're like, oh my God, Charlie, you've got to go watch this episode. So for anyone out there that's watching or listening to this that's not watched America's Dumbest Criminals, let me talk you through the concept of their 45-minute TV show. Basically, 45 minutes of CCTV footage of American criminals doing stupid stuff. Hilarious. Literally cracks me up. I was sat on the couch last night rolling around in stitches. It's amazing. And it's funny actually because as we were sat there watching it again last night, there's a couple of good ones that came up. Now the first one is there's this guy based out in New York. And I guess as most criminals do, he sat there one night alone and thinking he needs some extra money, and this brainwave comes into his head and he's like, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Tomorrow afternoon, in fact tomorrow lunchtime, I'm going to go and rob the pizza place that's just down the road here on the corner. So he gets a little plan together, grabs himself a baseball bat. The more of America's Dumbest Criminals who watch, you will see that is far often the weapon of choice. Grabs himself a baseball bat, sort of like the lunchtime over the day rolls around, and he's like, right, this is it, today is the day. And he strolls into this pizza restaurant, boom, kicks in the door, says to the guy that manages the place, he says, give me all your money, this is a robbery. And the guy, calm as a cucumber, looks him back square in the eyes and says, look, it's Tuesday afternoon, it's lunchtime, we're in New York City, and we are literally run off our feet. Is there any chance that you could come back in about 3 hours when we're a little bit quiet and we can do this whole thing again? So the criminal, like I said, America's Dumbest Criminal, walks back out the pizza restaurant, bat behind him, goes back home, sets his watch, comes back 2 hours later, kicks in the door, boom, says to the restaurant manager, this is a robbery, give me all of your money. At which point, of course, the restaurant manager, slightly smarter than the dumb criminal, has already called the cops. The cops are sat there waiting, and within about 30 seconds they've got this guy, bat in hand, on the floor, handcuffed up, and he's being driven away to the county pen. Absolutely brilliant. So that was one of the ones that were on last night. Second one was out of Jacksonville in Florida, which apparently has got a high crime rate. Don't know, never been. Spent a lot of time in Florida, but not been down to Jacksonville. I like the American football team though. Anyway, so there's these two brothers, and they are planning a robbery of one of the shops at their local, what they call strip mall. And I guess in their infinite wisdom, as they are planning how they're going to do this robbery, they figure out that they need weapons. So they go to their local Walmart and they pick up a couple of weapons of choice. So they get two baseball bats, like these big Louisville sluggers. Like I said, baseball bats, apparently if you're going to rob somewhere, that's what you need. So there's these two brothers, they grab these two baseball bats and they figure they've got this perfect plan to go and rob this store, sort of like that afternoon. So the afternoon rolls around, these guys scream up to the front of this store. In the van, they've got the balaclavas on, they've got the bats in hand, and they kick in the door again, boom! This is a hold up, give us all your money, and they're swinging the bats all around here everywhere. Now, despite all the planning that they'd done, what these people had failed to realise was that they were actually going to rob a gun store. So within about 30 seconds, what you see the fallout of, the people that are in this gun store see these two guys wielding baseball bats, they pull the guns out from under the counter, and the people that are being robbed end up holding these robbers, and within about 2 minutes these guys are on the floor, the police are here, they're in handcuffs, and all of this good stuff. Like I said, America's Dumbest Criminals. Trying to rob a gun store with a baseball bat, I mean, what's this all about? Now, what's kind of interesting, if you're like me and you are an avid fan of that show and you watch enough of it, there's a couple of things that you come to realise after watching like 100 or so episodes. First things first, is that if the statistics are to be believed, the most likely places to be robbed are, let's say, convenience stores, petrol stations, and places like 7-Eleven and all that stuff. It's where people normally go. Now, what's really interesting, for those of you that know anything about how petrol stores, convenience stores, and all that operate out in the US, because there is such a high propensity to be robbed, they actually recycle out the cash that's in their cash till on a regular basis. There's never anything more in their till than sort of like a couple of $100 at any one time. Now, on top of that, if you were to do a survey of, let's say, shop retail outlets like petrol stations, convenience stores, and all that sort of stuff, are the ones behind the till more likely to have guns, weapons, and things like that to defend themselves? Now, it's kind of curious because, like I said, you've got to think about that for a moment. You've got these people that are going and trying to rob places that, first things first, have zero or little money behind the counter, and are then risking life and limb to get zero to little money because the people behind the counter are carrying firearms. Absolutely crazy and beyond all belief. Yet, I need you to consider, in my experience, far too many men inside of this game are doing the exact same thing. How many of you sat there right now or watching this video and listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth, and when you think about it, consider the fact that you are putting time, you are putting energy, you are putting effort into trying to get money out of people like these convenience stores that have got no money, and more importantly, how many of you are trying to get money out of people that have got no money that are actually a big massive pain to deal with anyway? In other words, they got the firearms and all that sort of stuff as well. Because here's the thing, I need you to understand that this game is all about making sure that you are going after the people that have got cash and that can afford to pay your products and services, pay for your products and services and all that sort of thing. Far too many people out there right now, especially as the economy starts contracting and we see the fallout of everything that's going on, start panicking and start going lower and lower and lower and lower and lower, and of course all you end up doing is chasing your tail and going after people that have got no money to pay for what you offer. Now my friends, it's time to start moving up the money pyramid. You start going after the people that have got cash, and it's time to stop acting like the crazy people on and inside America's dumbest criminals. Other than that, my friends, if you've not seen the show, I suggest you get online this evening, start streaming. That will keep you entertained for hours. It's exactly what I'm going to do. And other than that, my friends, have an absolutely fantastic day, and make sure that you're going after people that have got cash and are easy targets, easy prospects, and we'll go from there. Have a good one, guys. Speak to you tomorrow.